Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are here with Wing of Darkness, not Wings, Wing of Darkness. Magius, tell us all about it, mate.
Sure thing, not a problem. First things first, before the run starts, I've got to change my button mapping. Uh, Short and sweet for this game. When your targeting button is R3 and you have a spare button that doesn't do anything, you kind of want to swap over the targeting to make that easier. Anyway, I'm here with my commentary.
Hello. I'm Tempest yet again. Surprise! I was actually going to be sitting in with Mage today.
Oh, hey, Tempest, you have shown interest in this run, so I figured you should actually see what a 80% run for this looks like,
Absolutely,
especially on
yeah.
Paradoxical. Quick, iteration of that one. The difference in difficulty, smooth sailing. Essentially, you take no penalties for using your evasive maneuvers. Weapons deal more damage. Enemies do less. Yada yada. Faster. We don't want that. Easy, just a bit different on that one. But you start taking damage hard. Normal. It's normal. Hard. We get more damage and slower enemy. Well, slow armor and recovery. Of our weapon. Now, paradoxical, which is what we're going to do. We have a lot of health. We have a lot of ammo. That does not regain anything. Plus, everything that is in hard mode stacks on top of that. So if I run out of ammo, which hopefully I won't, it takes a very long time for it to regenerate. So I guess when we're ready, it'll be in a 3, a 2, a 1. Let's go.
All right, so this game launched at least 2 years ago by Production X Abilities, I believe it's pronounced, and it's a lot of people have a rather mixed opinion on it. They all agree that the gameplay behind this one is just a fantastic experience. If only if it weren't just too gosh darn short. But luckily, this does work in the favor of a speed run. Mage has been cooking with this game for a long while, and needless to say, beating it now. Oh, wait, we just died. What? Uh-oh.
We
Oh
just skipped
no.
the prologue. Prologue
Yes,
ends in
indeed.
two ways. Ends in one way. You have to die. It's almost a premonition on some degree, but the tutorial level lets us basically skip it by just dying as fast as possible. This is actually possible on every difficulty other than smooth sailing, where we take no damage for our evasion maneuvers. So spamming that, once we run out of boost, we can immediately death abuse to end the prologue. And for
Right.
starters, I'm going to change our loadout to the first mission here, which is our first tutorial, well, our first actual real mission. Tempest, while I'm doing this, do you want to talk about more about the game?
So, basic the basic idea behind the gameplay is that it generally takes a little bit of inspiration overall from mecha games of the past. So basically, if you're familiar with titles based on, say, the Macross series or Robotech, or even the likes of, Mobile Suit Gundam and stuff like that, but also Ace Combat, then you're probably going to feel a little bit at home here. The overall ammo system, as Mage mentioned, in at least in paradoxical difficulty, is that yeah, it's going to take a while for that to sort of recover. So ammo management is going to be a little bit key here in order to proceed through a mission as smoothly as possible. Aside from that, you've got at least up to three. So we got the striker, we got the javelin, and the I'm probably gonna botch this. The
Stall is
Git
basically
combo.
what I think. I think what they eventually decided to call it during my last run of this.
Yeah, I would imagine so. And of course, there's the evasive maneuvers, which is always key in order to just take on an enemy at close enough range as possible without necessarily crashing into it. And that's what you're mainly going to be seeing in terms of just really getting a target with ramming as much damage into it as possible. Aside from that, though, there's quite a bit of decent production that went into this. This is technically an indie game, but it also features some notable voice actors over in Japan, some voice actresses that apparently have some very very notable cred. So props to
Yes,
them for being able to hire them.
they spent. This game actually does have a physical release and a collector's edition. Apparently,
Of
I'm
course,
not joking.
I would imagine it's only exclusive to Japan, right?
No. Apparently, I think it got a US
Huh.
release, but don't quote me on that one. I remember
I'll be
seeing
sure to
it
look at that quickly.
online, but anyway, we're just taking care of all the enemies. What you saw me earlier doing was setting up the settings so that way it's a bit easier to hear. And the reason why you'll see me using some evasion maneuvers quickly here and there is so I can sort of avoid some of the attacks as well as line up my sight for getting more damage in fast enough. By the way, we've just completed the first mission, which was our training thing. Guess I should introduce the two main characters, Clara here and her wingmate / friend Erica. Starting off, it's basically like the war against unknown enemies. Basically, Clara and Erica start off not liking each other. Erica being the more well-seasoned person, Clara being the new person. End up, becoming very good friends, and hopefully we'll be able to explain that throughout the run. Anyway,
At the
I'll skip a
moment,
cut.
we did go through some pretty simple stuff overall. Like, general prologue missions with a game like this one usually set you up with the basic enemy units and just overall getting you accustomed to the gameplay. Of course, things are going to pick up a little bit further along as we go along, and I'm probably going to get the mission number wrong. Didn't you say there were 6 missions overall?
Sorta. It's hard to explain. I'll explain during some of the stuff. Anyway, we're going to start off. Mission 2 is essentially our first sort of stealth mission. So we want to boost through here, hold in, as much as possible, line ourselves up for the enemies that will appear. We want to take them out. Looks like I'm going a little bit out of bounds. Okay. Let's see if we can manage to skip past them and sneak past them. We want to sneak past them as fast as possible. Oh crap, I went too far.
Ooh, yeah. So as you saw right there, in a sort of similar way to how a game like a
Gonna
team
have to
FPS
restart.
or anything that would like Halo or whatnot, the out of bounds area has a kill plane, which gives the player a allotted amount of time in order to re-enter, in order for the punishment to be avoided. And Mage was essentially trying to get past that. It's similar to how runners for games like Sonic Adventure DX would try to maneuver over kill planes. Think of it as a equivalent to that. But yeah, as you
Well,
noticed, the mission aborting was more of a restart per se, but I imagine the reason you did the proper pause menu restart was to reset the AI of the level or whatever.
no, actually. I did that to despawn all the enemies in this mission.
Okay, yeah, that's a bit more like it because I thought it had something to do with despawning, but I also had a feeling it could have had to do with the AI or the RNG. But yeah, no, that makes sense.
No, we just despawned. There's two ways to do that. Either taking a death after like the first checkpoint in certain ways, and for the longest time it was just doable on this mission entirely. But a little while back, and by the way, you'll get to see some fun tech that has not been seen on my Twitch channel in a while. Of being able to figure out how to do this on almost every mission in the game. So we will be completing some of the objectives and then despawning every other enemy. So kick back, relax. While Erica is hacking into the security system, we would be defending her and letting us, like taking out some of the enemies. But since we did not have to stop to fight anybody, we can just chill and relax.
And while that is happening, I am currently looking at that physical edition you had mentioned.
Yeah, it's got a collector's edition.
So it is available for shipping. It does seem to be Japan-based, but it is made available through services like Play Asia. Although, from the looks of it, the limited edition through Play Asia is definitely like sold out. So that's a little expected, but it does seem like you can at least get the basic physical edition through. Apparently, Walmart has a page for it right now, but then there's also there's also obvious things like eBay or perhaps Amazon. So yeah.
I highly do recommend checking the game out if you can get it on sale. As I said, it's like the gameplay is good. I might add this game is also a bit glitchy, so you do have to worry about some things. By the way, I'm wasting my ammo here just to show. Actually, I'll just use this because it's actually no, Saul's faster to demonstrate what I mean. Although the amount of time it takes to refill is not as fast as other things. By the way, fun fact: there's some small details here, like it says, like apparently facing some Atlantic force, other stuff like that. Since it really doesn't matter, since I've despawned everything, doesn't matter if I run out of ammo here, just to show you like what happens. But if you notice like how fast this is just reloading, it would be, if we were on any other difficulty, it would actually probably be full already. Assault is one of the fastest weapons that get stuff back, so but you can start to see like how slow it is. Anyway, we just completed the second mission of the game. Managed to get some juicy intel. If you look down at the bottom, you can see some of the story.
This game is available, by the way, on 3 platforms. The first being the PC version through Steam. There's also PlayStation 4, and then the Switch version, which is what Mage, as you might have noticed at the beginning of the run, is using. And you also noticed that Mage particularly started from a fresh save data, because the menu that allowed him to select the difficulty at the beginning of the clock is something that was rather particular to that. But is there also a reason why you chose to start the run under those conditions?
Short and sweet. There's also a glitch if you exit out of the game and then restart that it puts you to the default lowest difficulty, and you can go in and change it back. But as you can imagine, like, it is a pain to get things perfect. Anyway, we're going to swap to this because this mission here, we are required to take out some heavy, bomber type, large aircrafts with multiple parts. It's got to be accurate on that one. But the reason why, you lose time because you'd have to go in and doing each individual mission by itself, it boots you back out to the title screen if you're doing it from the menu and continuing it like that, unless it's continuing. Anyway, we've got to take out 3 of these giant ships with multiple parts. You'll see me, this is one of the reasons why I actually adjusted the camera sensitivity, because the way it works is sort of like with flying, it's sort of like tank controls. This is one of the missions where you'll see me use the shotgun because I want extra damage. Now, if this was a no major glitches run, you would see me actually using the striker missiles here because of higher ammo count and more ammo because of having to deal with the amount of actual damage versus ammo count, because it's still, as you can start to see, just like how slow it is. Although it's very accurate, it's very slow for refilling. Want to fly under here, get some precise shots on that one, because the game does tend to be a little bit awkward with what it actually counts as damage for these. So I've got to strafe along there, make sure I do not get anything too big or too small, because we're going to do that there. And that's our first one done. Let's go with getting this one. Get some height so I can make sure I can hit them all. And the enemies are reforming again. There's another checkpoint. Now, just like the last mission, we're going to go out of bounds here to restart some stuff. Oh crap, I went back in bounds where I did not mean to. Little time lost, but not much. But you can start to see like how long it takes weapons to refill. Now, implement that to if we were to run out of ammo. In no major glitches, that's a huge matter. But we're now going to restart again. And we're going to hold boost just before we load in, because it's going to help with starting us with a boost. Hey, we got the first one dead. And the second one. Where's that last one? There it is. And we just completed the third mission. So what happened there is with resetting the things, with some of the enemies spawned, it still treated the first one as being destroyed, but then applied that to the other two targets, setting them to 0 health. So being able to just one-shot them immediately before other things spawned. The game gets confused. You completed that, but it hasn't loaded in all the other enemies that you would normally get for killing each one, so it assumes the mission's complete. So, story-wise, we find out about how it's Clara's birthday coming up. Erica and the rest of her squad decide to plan a surprise party. They're sent to go take out a backwater base. We are going to want to completely readjust our weapons to our usual setup. This is namely because you want accuracy over other stuff and making sure you have good ammo counts. What's your thoughts, Tempest?
So far, pretty good stuff. Like, yeah, as you said, this game's really got some solid gameplay going for it. Just the feel of seeing the action and how it was all programmed, the weight of the evasive maneuvers, it's really, really cool. Like, there's just no denying that.
And it's got a good story too. I mean, it's one of those games, like, apparently one of the Steam achievements is bugged, but I haven't tried it yet. To see that, reading some of the actual reviews or people complaining about why doesn't this work or this work or this work was kind of amusing. Mind you, anyway, we want to take care of these enemies here because we got to clear out some of the stuff. So we want to target onto one of them, turn off the lock off so we can actually hit multiple enemies with it at the same time, because we want to be able to actually lock onto some of the enemies. Okay, where are you? Where's the last one of you? This is one of those things where the game, I've got to look for exactly where the enemy is that I need to actually hit, because in this mission they tend to actually pick some false targets. First time they actually do that. As I said, you'll see me roll in to try to get an enemy's line of fire to match up with my guns. It's a straight shot. Now we're boosting towards the second enemy set. The target there is not where it's supposed to be. Checkpoint there. There we go. There's the next set of enemies. And, well, this one, just like the last few, does have a bit of a despawn to it. However, this one is a little bit weird. I could take a death to do it, but as you can see just how fast it goes with this versus time. Although this is one thing the PC version probably could do faster, but that versus the amount of time it took me to take a death on that one. But we want the enemies to spawn here, so it has a full count. Let's restart, and hopefully I did do this correct. I'll know soon enough, and if not, I'll have to back out to the menu, but see, that part's correct. Problem. Okay, so apparently I did screw that one up. Okay, so I'll have to fix that, but luckily there's always backups to it. Screwed up the first bit of it, but it's okay. I can tell if it actually works properly if I cannot target any of them with the Gestalt. Fun fact, that actually is very useful for determining if you actually got the glitches to work. So you're getting some extra some bonus content here, folks. As you see me rolling into that one, that's so I can dodge enemies while using the fact that the lock-on is not perfect to be able to actually set it up so that I can get stuff, more accurate. Because it is faster to actually lock onto things and then use that to help me with moving, with actually turning around, than having to manually try to turn with the camera at its highest setting on, sensitivity. Just like that.
While he's in the middle of that, I should probably mention that for those curious about the story, So Mage mentioned that this takes place with an unknown enemy going on, and right now, who we are playing as, they're actually known as Fraulines. It's basically a fancy term for the pilots behind the special mechs that utilize what's called the Held system, which apparently is the only powerful enough weapon to handle the unknown enemy known as blankers. And so, for whatever reason, aside from the only thing that I can say, which is anime, apparently young women are only capable of, like, a select few of them are capable of piloting these without much side effect or something like that. So essentially, what, Darling in the Franxx, for lack of a better comparison?
Yep. Although I think I hit the wrong thing on that one, but let's see there. Yep, should work now. If you notice, the enemies that the actual enemy count did not reset. We want that because we have set it up for that one. So now I just actually have to do this as well. We want to go out of bounds again because that will reset the count to 0. If you notice, the remaining is a large amount. It just so happens to be more enemies than the that we have to kill throughout the entire rest of the mission. So we just did that, and I do agree that this game does look rad. So we'll do that, and now it's set back to 0. So this guy can handle it. But if you notice, we can't target. Did I just get that again? Yeah, did I screw it up? Yes, I think I did. Give me a sec, all. This one is legitimately one of the finicky ones, and it's why I have a bit of a second thing, but I'll go back to continue because it'll immediately take me to the mission, and this is sort of why you don't really want the, why you really can't go from the other stuff, because you'd have to be manually picking each mission on that one, and it costs you so much time. That's why it's best to do it from a fresh file. As I said, this is like one of the only tricks that is outright a bit weirder because it requires you doing it twice, you know, actually taking it, restarting and then restarting again. And as I said, I can tell if I've got it because I would not be able to target any of these enemies down here. And if I can, then I know that I have not got it. But we'll need to go up here slightly on that one. I'm mashing the B button, which is the button that is currently assigned to raise and lower your altitude. And since you can see that it's not, you know, like sort of tank, semi-tank controls, it's a bit easier to actually just use the, you know, camera and have that with some sensitivity so I can make it faster to turn. And swap that one there. You notice it's like the evasion allows me to actually just set it up so I can straight off back, move to a proper position to make sure that they run into my actual fire faster, rather than having the game try to manually get them, you know, and have them fire around. Until then, where are you? Ah, there you are. Gotta wait till it targets them. No game. Pick the correct enemy for me, please. Because, as you can start to see, like, that enemy there will not count because it is not the correct enemy. However, that was. This mission, you have to be more concerned about how the game treats certain enemies and how it does and does not count. Just like what Tempest said about how the devs did quite well on that one. Checkpoint on that one there. Did I get the enemies to spawn before the checkpoint?
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is like, as someone who's always fancied game design or just making a game, it's not an easy thing to do. And no matter where you come from or what you do, there's always these general barriers in which trying to get your game to program right and do what you hope to accomplish with it is it is no small feat. So the fact that despite the game taking at least 2 years, because it was originally announced in 2019 and it did get a little delayed, but the fact that they still managed to get somewhere close to just what they generally wanted to do all the same is great. Like at the very least, I can certainly applaud it. And
I screwed up the timing on that one. It's sad because I'm gonna probably go over estimate now.
ooh,
Luckily,
why
this
is
is
that?
like. Hold on a minute. Wait, did I just have another thing happen with this game? I learn something new every day with this game. As I exit out to the menu, it's not reading it as if it was that one. So I'm gonna see something here. Because if you notice, just like how it's now back to 14 from the other thing, and this is after resetting out of the game. Worst case, as I said, this game has glitches. Has some useful, has some not useful. Hopefully this will restart it back to the default on that one. Let's see. 14 to that one there. Let's see here. I think what I'm actually going to have to do, and I can now officially say, yeah, this is going over estimate because of mission 4.
Ooh.
Don't worry, it's actually faster. Technically, it's almost as fast as doing the mission by itself. Yeah, surprisingly, on that one. And that's just mainly because of the difficulties of paradoxical mode with having to actually make it perfectly on the thing. But it happens. Screwed up the first part, and again, this game is glitchy. But luckily, I can quickly get back into the menu. Oh, crap. I forgot. This also shows off one of the things. You notice how it changes back to smooth sailing? That is a huge oversight on that one. So I now have to go to the select chapter, go after this one, go to there, go to paradoxical, pick the paradoxical mode outcome for that one, and then return to the title screen. So now it is set it that way, and I've got to do it this way, else it will boot me back out to the title screen, which will be a time loss there. Yes, it is. It sucks on that one, but the estimate is more for the whole fact of just like 45 minutes, because honestly, should this not happen, and by the way, this is the essential, this has never happened before, it would take a sub 40 minutes with like, a bit of time estimate, for something like this, but having it, act up twice, sort of on that one. Also, if you notice just like how long it's taking my javelins to be refueled, you can start to see just like how paradoxical mode actually can be a pain. Want to up there. See up here. Let's get up close and personal with them. Light up properly. At least I get to show off why actual game has some of the other glitches within it.
Gotcha. I was just going to ask, so how long over estimate do you think it's going to go? I'm just asking out of my curiosity.
Hopefully not long. Maybe like 3-4 minutes.
Okay, yeah, that's not too bad.
This world record, which is done offline at present, for me was a 38 and change. So figure I'm gonna estimate at least maybe using like 4 to 5 minutes on that one. Figure like that one just in case. If I'm really lucky, it'll finish on time.
I would pay it no mind. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Fair's fair
There we
there,
go.
Apache.
And respawn. Give me the checkpoint, please. Yep. There we go. There we go. I'm not joking when I say I've got to have the enemies spawn before the checkpoint takes place so that they are spawned in before things on that. Really going out of bounds will work. And if it doesn't, then I will manually trigger it via taking a life there.
again, just the fact that you managed to find all this stuff is very impressive, dude. Like, no doubt, it's. I always respect just the effort that goes into trying to dig deep into just about any kind of game, whether it be one that people know about or not. And regardless of what kind of gameplay style it has, or no matter how long it takes, it's just the overall interest of seeing where it goes that can take you through. Like,
Funniest
for
thing is
instance-
how I found the first glitch. That was by accident. I was trying to see if I could
that's
speed
the best kind of glitch.
through a, the second mission, if I could go fast, past it. Realized I couldn't. Oh, gotta make sure I don't go out of bounds now. Also, the game is now laggy for various reasons. So yes, I did officially get the glitch the third time. If you notice, I can't target any of that. We have a checkpoint, and that barrier in the middle that we would be waiting on, having to kill like over 20 plus enemies that would be there, is now no longer there. By the way, could I ask what time it is on that one? Currently on that one?
On the clock?
On the
It's
clock is
looking like
29:22.
29?
Yeah, 29:22.
That means maybe 10 minutes if I am not lucky on that one, so probably like a 50.
That's not too bad.
Also, first hearing of the aliens on that one. I mean, it's not
Oh,
bad,
yeah.
because I had to actually exit the game out to get it out of a glitch state. It screwed up the glitch twice on that one. It's a bit finicky on this one, but again, also, by the way, we despawned the entire rest of the mission, so
Yeah.
we're setting it up to have Erica keep Clara away so they can keep a surprise party for her together. Essentially, this is the only stage where we have to actually do a reset and then taking out other intentional deaths, so it's hard to get it exactly because we want the enemies remaining to be 14 or higher so that the game recognizes both waves are done, and then getting rid of them again basically sets it to, okay, you hit 0, you killed all the enemies that you had to take care of in order to open up the final area, but then since it cannot spawn it anymore, it then treats that as you must have killed all of them as well after it finishes through cutscenes. Probably 10-minute time loss, give or take. But
I will say though, like, just the nature of the game is kind of fun. Like, in more so, well, the glitchiness of the game. Like, yeah, as you demonstrated, making a major mistake can be costly in terms of time, but at the same time, what you can do with the game, it kind of reminds me, and this, whether it's a apt comparison or not, I would say Mega Man X6 in that regard.
Don't know on that one. But I'd have to say this game, and the reason why no major glitches now exists, was because you've seen me do this on the second mission, the third mission, and now the fourth mission. We're not done doing that. So, Tempest, you said this game has how many missions?
6.
So technically, that glitch could also be done on the very first mission, but the problem is since you have to still kill the fighters, you have to manually target the things, and since you cannot, target them with this, it's a bit of a pain, and it takes almost as much time unless done perfectly than it does to complete the mission normally. Mission 5 here, although we could do that, actually creates a soft lock, because there's an enemy in this mission that we cannot defeat by the name of Rita. Don't ask me on that one, I got no clue what her backstory is. Not mentioned in the rest of the game on that one, but because we can't defeat her, with her no longer being there, basically means we cannot win. So it creates a soft lock. So we're just going to chill here and wait until the enemies spawn here. By the way, after Clara's birthday, Clara finds out when Erica's is and decides to do the same thing. However, Clara is horrible at keeping a secret. Also, what you see on the screen right now is one of the only examples of static interference. The game teaches you about it in the prologue, but we skipped that. And as it's one of those things you could tell what the devs either had to run out of time or had, not enough time that they wanted to do more but couldn't. Anyway, we have somebody respawning here, so we want to move in just enough so that we can get them targeted. Want to get rid of all these. Now, you notice that I did not change the actual loadout. That's because the default loadout for this mission... By the way, say hi to Rita. We do not want to target her at all because since we cannot defeat her, having her be targeted means we're not dealing damage to enemies that we do want to get rid of. No, Rita. Thank you. Stop targeting Rita, please. Game.
It's almost as if the mech's trying to respond to that sort of blood state, like what's the word? Bloody instinct, blood, something of the matter. Like I'm thinking back to how in Mobile Suit Gundam Iron Blood and Orphans, it was revealed the Gundams were made to combat the mobile armors, and whenever they do, they kind of go into this hunter mode basically, which is also very taxing on the pilot.
Also, now that we've taken out all of the units but Rita, they put us under another jamming where we can't use our weapons at all. We can still change them, but we can't do anything on that one. So Erica decides to fly back for help on that one. As you can see down at the bottom, the copy can't answer. They still see each other on that one, but at the same point, you can notice I'm just not able to target or do anything to Rita. So at present, we're just now on auto-scroller. This is why I can say I know what we're looking at for timing. Although I might be able to save a few seconds on the final mission, but as you can tell, just like if I were to despawn her, because the game is required for her to be alive, the fact that she's like this state means you cannot proceed to finish the mission off. And there's technically 8 missions total in this game, as there was a second part to mission 5, but I will explain that when we get to it. Also, again, sorry for the problems on that one. I've gotten good at getting Mission 4's thing on that one, but it's kind of the only one that's tricky.
Well, at this rate, all we can do is just let fly. Or as Dory likes to say, just keep swimming. Although we're really not doing any swimming.
Well, technically, we are swimming in the sky.
I like the way you think.
I mean, to be fair, we're just waiting on Erica to get back to the base and actually, we're basically acting as a decoy for her right now.
Right. And from what I can understand, there's some really big, like, mystery stuff going on here with that deep computer voice that, if you were listening closely, you could probably hear, as well as, why would there be a target by the name of Rita in the first place anyway? I mean, aren't these supposed to be, like, aliens or something? Yeah.
Well, aliens or another nation on that one. You can tell the game developers wanted to do more, but, limitations on that one. And honestly, I wish that they had been able to do more, because the gameplay is actually kind of fun for a budget title. And you could beat it within a couple hours on that one, even watching all the cutscenes. And heck, even if you just want to play for the story, you can play it on smooth sailing mode, or, hell, deal the 90% speedrun and just enjoy the stories. Anyway, Clara, even though we've gotten rid of all the enemies, Clara has been injured on her way back. Sorry, not Clara, Erica. Anyway, basically, she survives, by the way, the typical you hurt my friend / killed my friend moment. I don't mean that negatively, I mean that more along the lines of Clara is pissed, like you see the blood red eyes, happening on that one. I will add Erica survives, but she starts to she basically ends up being paralyzed from the waist down. As any future cutscenes, you see her in a futuristic version of a wheelchair. Sadly, not Professor X levels where you basically get to hover. It's obviously the X-Men, but no. Anyway, you can also see now that I've run out of strikers, just like how long it takes for them to reload. I just finally get one back, and since they require 2 to fire, I would have to wait that long just to be able to fire 1. So yes, ammo observation is very important in this one, in this difficulty. Anyway, Lara is essentially waiting around. Then the actual enemy started to think whether or not she might be one of them or not. Who knows? I mean, it's not unheard of for the, hey, you're from my species taking on other stuff because of, random things. Anyway, right now we're in Flora's dream, where she's starting to, basically post-mission, having to rest in hospital because of what happened. I believe it's Clara. Could be wrong there. It's sometimes hard to tell because the story actually covers from both perspectives, even though you're only playing as one of them. Also, fun fact, the actual thing we choose in the main mission is what we have set up for this mission. So being able to just default back to our default kit that we'd want makes it really good. Anyway, we're just waiting for this part to end.
By the way, how are you skipping the cutscenes? Was that like a feature added into a later update? I remember hearing that apparently you couldn't skip the cutscenes according to your review.
Y button. I don't know if the original had it or not. I know paradoxical difficulty was added as a free update, so I'm not sure on that one.
Then I imagine, it must have been added in.
Anyway, we want to change the javelin out for, the basic stapler out for the javelin. And now we've been tasked to take out an enemy mothership. Clara has been down on herself ever since and focusing only about battle and taking care of Erica. Also, something happened to her voice. Story-wise, essentially, by the way, Clara basically is starting to turn into Evangelion fans, Ray, for bits. Shoutouts to, I won't say that trope, but you get what I mean there. Anyway, we're going to take out some of these things, in order to be able to get in. I've got 22 of them to take out. I want to basically try to target them as much as I can. Avoid enemy fire and just get it into, as fast as I can. Get them into my line of fire. Target a single set, back out so I can manage to lock onto them and make sure that it works faster. Because using auto target is a lot faster than me having to manually try and maneuver everything with turning things. Left. So I can get multiples of them.
Yeah, she does not sound happy at all.
Yes. See, 12. Making sure that was an actual target because of how close it was to the guns. I've got to try to make sure I do not pick off or use a lot of ammo because, again, as I showed in the last mission, just like how long it takes to have things reload. Come on. See about multi-targeting. This is why you get stalled on something so you can actually make sure I get, some quick ammo shots and choosing accuracy over ammo count here. Because we have to, take care of this as fast as possible. 7. Six. And maybe wondering why I'm not really concerned about ammo as much if I have to actually, if this mission has a second part to it. Positive note, that's because we get a free refill at the start of that one. So, not having to carry as much is very useful. So that means that instead of having to actually preserve ammo count, I can just, quickly just waste as much as I need. There we go for that there. Now, Flowers, we're going inside, need to go there. Also, you start to find out that Erica losing some, losing emotional stuff might be a product of the held system, that there's some flaws to it. Not so much flaws, but some drawbacks to it. Anyway, we'll want to go into here. Go up this way. If you notice, I got a full refill on my ammo. Want to swap to that one. We're going on our way inside. We want to slowly move forward. Hit as many enemies as we can. Actually, damage tank here. Fly backwards. Actually, as I said, damage tank as much as possible. Because we need to get to the next area. Although we move slowly thanks to the enemy commander slowing us down on that one. Trying to understand us, why humans, yada yada. As I said, want to keep going like this. Come on now. Want to get there as fast as it can. Now, I might add, what we want to do is position ourselves as fast as possible. This is basically the only one there you actually have to guarantee that you take a death on that one. For obvious reasons. There's no way to go out of bounds. But now that we've done that, you figure restarting a mission would restart us from the very beginning. It does not. That's why I said it technically counts as that one. And now we have despawned the entire last mission. The final boss. And since the last of the final mission is essentially a having to wait around to some degree, well, as soon as we have a certain cutscene happen, it will be time. Which is why I said it'll be a very obvious thing.
It's almost like this mission has just been reduced to an escape sequence.
Pretty much.
Kind of like going through the Death Star 2.
I mean, that is a very hyped scene in the trilogy.
Absolutely.
Well, original trilogy, I should state.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact: even if we would have to kill the final, even if we had to fight the final boss, since we cannot beat them, long spiel story-wise, we would actually be able to leave here.
I do gotta say though, on the subject of Star Wars, shout out to the previous Star Wars runner. That was pretty sick. Some pretty sick Jedi Knight gameplay.
I said if I hadn't screwed up, this would have been a lot faster, but I screwed up mission 4. And with 4, it's a toss-up between whether or not it's faster to actually take the fight if you screw it up or not. And honestly, 3rd time's the charm. How much time is left on that one on the clock, just out of curiosity?
We're at 48.
Okay. Yeah, I'll be maybe like 5 minutes over. Which
No
isn't
problem.
bad for having to restart the fourth mission a few times. I'm just chilling out here with Wing of Darkness. As I said, I highly recommend the game. The game normally is very fun. Any percent is, well, it's any percent. Considering despawning everything on almost every mission in the game, you can understand why there's a no major glitches category.
Absolutely so.
And technically, this is also going to be slower than my current PB, but then again, my current PB did not have other stuff like that. And last time, for hard mode, well, which is now the old any percent route, was essentially me beating everything normal. So, give or take, still, this will make me want to actually go back and do another one on that one.
Oh geez, those the heckin' spinning effects.
Yes, this is why I'm annoying it. Also, we find out that the health system's drawback is also that you start losing your eyesight. And as someone who has impairment, I can straight up tell you, yeah, that's a thing. Also, when you hear Clara yell out, "I am human," and the screen goes black, that's when time will be.
Oh, this is gonna be pretty epic, yeah.
I mean, she technically does survive, has some things on it, don't know who saved her or things like that. Also, time.
GG.
Lost some time on it. I'm assuming a 50-something or 49 if I'm lucky.
49, 41.
So, essentially losing like 5 to 7 minutes.
Good performance, though. Yeah, like, thanks for letting me commentate, man. I appreciate it.
You wanted to know about the run, and I wanted to show off 2 of the hidden tech things on that one, because, hey, this game was fun. And as I said, if you guys can pick it up dirt cheap, highly recommend it. It's, a fun speed run, and no major glitches. I just opened up a category, a leaderboard for that one on top of any percent, if for those that want to actually experience the full feel of it. But as I said, it's got a lot of charm to it. I like it as a speed run, and I highly do recommend others checking it out, because it's just got that fun flair to it, and you have like here's a total glitched category for you, then here's your total beat it as normal category, and every difficulty is welcome. The only thing I'd say is the easiest difficulty, smooth sailing, is the slowest.
So, before we pass it on back to the event, Mage, where can these people find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Mageius1. I try to stream where I can, but I work retail, so it varies on that one. So, but I try to stream whenever I can. I do highly recommend stopping by. I try to stream a lot of different things where I can. I like rooting speed runs, finding those games that most people haven't touched, and like, yeah, this looks fun. Check it out. Actually like trying to be the first person to actually come up with a route for it or come up with other stuff for it, and it's just like, that's how I found this. It looked fun. Like, eShop, like anime games or games that look at that. It's like, yeah, this looks interesting. $7. Okay, I'll pick it up or throw it to the wish list until it gets on sale. But again, highly encourage that one. Tempest, you want to say where they can find you, or just tell them to watch the previous one?
I mean, they could watch the previous run, but I'll say it anyway. Tempest Mask 1000 here on Twitch, YouTube, at It's Tempest Steve for Twitter, and Blue Sky for Tempest Mask. Yeah, thanks for having the both of us, and we wish the rest of Lime City Wonderland the best of luck. And oh yeah, thank you for having us for the first ever Winter Wonderland. A great way to end out the year, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for your kind words. And yeah, this is the first Lime City Winter Wonderland. Next up, we've got a very special Christmas run by Blue Metal. It's Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes Nut Percent Extreme. And he'll explain what all that is after a brief intermission.